What's good, my commuters, my fellow bike riders? Now, welcome back to another segment of Specialized Cross Trails versus Fuji 3.0 newest. Now we're here to cover the Specialized Cross Trail Disc 2014 model. Now it's fair to say that I have this bike for over a month. And so far it's been great. Yes, I had some hard times, and that was mainly my fault, and I have the videos to prove that. So for us commuters, right? If you're looking to get into commuting, especially in the city or long distance commuting, I highly recommend the Specialized Cross Trails or the Specialized Cross Trail disc. I have the disc edition because obviously I have this disc brakes. But if you don't want the disc brakes and you want to pay less, you just get the Specialized Cross Trails. Now, as y'all can see, the improvements on this, the add-ons, the accessories, because I haven't upgraded or modified, really, just besides by adding the real rackets, the baskets, if you notice the lights, and the toe straps. One thing if you compare to the Fuji, there's a lot of room for upgrade. The Fuji as well has room for upgrade, but however, because it's a more newer edition compared to Fuji, to the Fuji I have, obviously, this bike right here for commuting, it will do very well. For example, as in one of my videos, you could cut through alleyways. You could cut through desert dirt trails. And depending on the condition of the trail, I mean, the ones I got on are pretty rough. Those were pretty rough trails, I have to admit. So that's why those were the rough times. But I did it, and I'm not going through those extremely rough trails too often anymore. So I'm just going to keep it, you could say almost cyclocross, type trails. So I'm looking forward to add on the front racket, because eventually I'm planning to do see if I can get a touring going with this bike. Nothing major, maybe something from here to like Flagstaff. If I ever get when I get a vacation or something, before something, because I've never done it before, so I don't want to go something too extreme and it's good to go with a experienced touring partners. So especially they know the routes, where to stop, where to camp, and so on. So I'm looking forward to get into it with this bike. So the next step is to reinforce the wheels, and it's just gonna get heavier, but to my advantage, that's gonna be better, especially if it's gonna be going into touring. So at the moment, it's being built as a city tour, so I know that sounds funny. So we, pretty much this is right here is getting me to work, picking up groceries, and so on. So eventually, I don't have them yet, but I'm gonna add the bags and nothing. It's too expensive. Yes, waterproof. Even though I live in a desert, But you know, if I'm gonna venture out to different parts of this state, Arizona, you know, Flagstaff weather and terrain is a little different. It's actually snow out there in Arizona. Yes, believe it or not, there's snow in Arizona, but the only place I've seen snow was in Flagstaff. So, as you can see, I added a water mount finally because I'm tired of using the book bag. So now, what I've been doing is riding my bag on top of in the basket or maybe in the back. But I usually just put it in the basket, especially if I'm not using the cam. So I just right there, no cam, just straight, you know, regular commute, private commute. So another thing compared to the Fuji is this. I think I already mentioned that you can cut through the trails and even go down steps. If you know how to go down steps, you could do it with this bike. And then also, the tires are a lot thicker. They kind of remind me, but I don't think they're the same, of course. But you know, cyclocross type tires. You know, not too thick, not too slim, but just right, just to you know. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a 700 by 30, 35. So I think it's like pretty much a 27 by 5, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, just leave a comment and, you know, you can correct me. I don't mind. So, but, and another thing about this bike also, just like the Fuji, it's a 3 by 8. The only difference is the teeth size. Of course, my highest crank, if I'm not mistaken, is a 48. And on the Fuji, it's a 52. I wonder which bike will go faster. So if you're deciding to, like, let's say, to go on, and this is just average commuting. I'm not talking about racing or anything else extreme. Only extreme commuting. In my opinion, one of these bikes will fit you just well. But however, they both have their weaknesses, their pros and cons. For example, the Specialized Cross Trails with the accessories and the add-ons and stuff it's a lot heavier. I think now it's got to be over 27 pounds, maybe 30, maybe more. Not with the accessories. But however, the Fuji, right, has the carbon fork, light wheels, and I'm not sure the post, decent saddle, nice handlebars. So the bike is way lighter than the cross trails. So if you're planning to want to get to from point A to point B fast, and you don't mind having a book bag on, and you don't mind back sweat, you know, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, especially commuters. That back sweat, and you with the helmet, and you're somewhere hot like Arizona, California, Florida, and you just want to get, and you feel skill, and you know you're skillful to, you know. So the Fuji will probably be for you, just you know, and the wheels is about the tire I think is about the same size. The only difference is the width and the thickness of the tires itself. But I think the rims are the same size, so I think it may have improvement, it may have room for to grow to give it cyclocross type tires. That's still in the thought of the process, way into the future, because at the moment the Fuji is just a fun bike for me to get around, just here and there, and once in a while I may commute to work with this if I'm feeling, you know, fast, or if I happen to know, I know I'm about to be late at work, and there's the bike. I have my work clothes on and put on the bag and go fast and furious with this bike and make it on time. So, but now, if with the more weight added, and I'm gonna practice riding with the basket, of course, and the water bottle, and a real racket and keep going hard with it. But for me right now, for me to commute pretty much everywhere on a normal, safe commute, especially after I reinforce the tires, will be for me right now will be the Specialized, because the Specialized cross trail disc is a hybrid, and the hybrid is it's I'm not gonna praise it too much, but it's pretty good. The only thing I've noticed, if you notice, I raised the seat up, and it's about the same height as the Fuji road bike. Look, and I haven't even risen the seat up like the Fuji, so I have a lot of clearance on that pole on the Specialized cross trails, but it's not a big deal. So, and then if you notice compare the stem, the neck, and the handlebars to the Fuji and the Specialized, is that you can adjust the handlebars on the Fuji. So that's a great strength against the Specialized right there. You could just one day go cruise mode and be like, you know what, and be a speed demon on that Fuji. And as a commuter, yes, there's speed demons out there. There's road rage commuters too. I mean, don't get it twisted. You got commuters. Well, I think it depends where you from and where you at, because I'm originally from New York, and you got some commuters that don't play, especially the ones on those fixed gears, bicycles, and sometimes things happen, and I don't mean like bad, but it's just like you could get cut by another cyclist, and the biking world is a pretty interesting world, but it's not. It's all about what kind of rider you are. So that's why you got to be careful what kind of bike you pick, especially when it comes to a hybrid and to a road bike. It took me a while to research what kind of road bike I wanted, and it was like a blessing to find a road bike like this for me, because the whole adjustment of the neck. I never thought about seeing a road bike like that. So it's very enjoyable to ride, to be honest. But however, my confident ability on the Fuji is kind of low right now, right in the streets, more hard body than usual at the moment. But for the Specialized cross trails, my confidence level is crazy, especially at night. Now with the new lights edition, I think it's called True 505. No, don't need batteries, or just a USB cord. You can just charge it up. Right now I got these lights on. I got all the lights in my house off. Got these lights on. And at nighttime it's crazier. So right now it's morning. So I promise at night I will show. We will get more into the lights. And my real lights is okay. I just need better ones. I need something high beamish. So the real light it's on, but you can't tell because a little bit of the daytime light, and with the overpowering of my high beams, so you can't really tell that the real lights are on. But another advantage, the Specialized, in my opinion, over the road bikes, is the disc brakes. But however, these days road bikes are coming out with disc brakes. So that's another thing about the hybrid. You can stop on a dime, especially if you're skilled in braking and you know how to brake, how to smooth things down. I use both brakes. And it's just how you use the brake. Some people just use the front brake or the rear brakes. Or I personally, on traffic, I kind of play both with a little bit, but I keep moving though. You know what I'm saying? That's when I start going slow motion. I kind of got that from the road bikers out, that practice riding slow in a straight line. So now I kind of utilize that on traffic. So it's like if I know the red light's about to be done, my feet is not touching the ground, even though it's not a fixed gear and I got room to So it's all technique of braking and using your crank. So pretty much, we're going to continue on the next segment, because due to timing, and I'm just trying to pretty much download the videos through mobile. So we'll be right back.